Good afternoon. It's Jamie Kay with a little bit of that, a little bit of this, and we're going to have some fun. Kind of, sort of, a little bit. Does anybody know what violence is? Domestic violence. Does anybody know what abuse is? Okay, well, abuse is when somebody instills their will onto another person. Whether it be physical, mental, emotionally, it's their will being instilled into somebody. And what we have lately is a lot of fear being instilled in many directions, many cultures, different ways, different religions, different. But the overwhelming issue is fear is running it, and we're the participants in it. Because we feel that we're angry because we're not getting treated special. We're not being acknowledged as special. We're not getting our instant gratification that we need. We're not getting that high, that drive that makes you go. So we instill violence by breaking somebody else's property up, busting up somebody else's property. It's not your money that was being invested into their business. It was them working to get to that building they're renting or owning to build that business. But along comes something that makes you feel a certain way, so you decide to get violent. You're not thinking of the fact of when you're destroying your area or you're destroying other people's properties, you're doing nothing more than instilling more violence. You're doing nothing more than instilling your pain on somebody else, and you're going to make them do what? Having an emotional reaction that you're trying to get, but that emotional reaction you want, you're giving negative, and you're expecting something positive, and you're expecting a new dance out of the same old shit. You don't want to look at the bigger picture, you're looking at the smaller picture. I'm not getting what I want, so I'm going to instill what I want by taking it. And if that means I break up your storefront window, oh well, so be it. Who cares that you didn't go out when you could have? Who cares if you took that extra bit of money that could have gone to something fun, instead of you using it and spending it, you're putting it towards your future, something to save for, something like a home, something. And then in comes the government, and they decide we're instilling taxes, we're instilling this, we're instilling what we want, what we're going to take, because we're going to sit on Congress, we're going to sit on the Senate, we're going to sit and make jobs up that don't need to exist, and the ones that do exist can't coexist. You got the Democrats here, you got the Republicans here, you got the independents here, and in the middle, people, and I want you to think about this for a minute, in the middle is us. They're choosing sides, and we're the ones in the middle, and they're trying to instill what they want from us. Does this make sense? If a corporation is making an X amount of money, you should show your employees as that company that got you your profit margin, that got your girlfriend, that got to be your wife, that got to be your house, that got to be the housekeeper once a week, that got to be. And then you decided you wanted more, and then you wanted to add a second plate of the mistress, the kid, the secret, the lie. And then when it comes to your reality, you shape it the way you want because you pass laws and bills that work in your favor. The rest of us in the middle here are still trying to recover from the last nightmare that was instilled on us. Because we're a lower class. We're the class that keeps busting our butts, sending our children to do the right thing, and then on top of that, there is more added to the us who don't belong here, who want more from us. So when your husband gets up and go to work and you're taking care of the kids, understand he's working 18, 13, 14, hours in a day. By the end of the week, what's supposed to be 40 hours is actually 80 of it, and the other 40 was volunteered because he had to bring it home, because of the overload, because the company wants more. But when they want more, they're also telling you that, hey, open up an IRA. It's in your favor. This is for you. This is for your benefit. And the next thing you know, it's gone. The fantasy was just that, the fantasy. Because guess what, folks? We're here to bust our asses at the lower end. So the upper end, like airports, did you get your daily beating today before you got on your plane? Did you get your beating after you went to the bathroom or before you went to the bathroom? Did you get the stroller thrown at you or away from you? Do you follow the theme? Did your airport abuse you today? Did your Starbucks abuse you today? Yeah, they abuse us every day. Why? Because their coffee is burnt and it tastes nasty and it's disgusting and it's overpriced. Then they tell you this wonderful story about what they do for this small coffee bean farm. Look under the layers and you will find that it's not all it's cracked up to be. So all of us who are here and we're being emotionally beaten up every day by the higher-ups that are supposed to be taking care of us. Then we go in every day to have our boss inundate his will on us. Then we get home, and then the kids instill their will, the husband. We get so indebted with everybody's shit that we don't have time to take a breath back, to look at what the hell the bigger picture is, and to see what really matters. Instead, TV's being shoved down our throat. Magazines are being shoved in your face. Hey, go on a cruise and buy free drinking alcohol. Well, hey, everybody wants to drink alcohol because everybody wants to forget that they got to fucking go back to work to Monday or in a week from now, and they get to repeat the cycle again. But they call this their vacation because they got freedoms. We don't have no freedoms anymore. The freedoms are what we want, what we keep, what we hold near, what we hold dear. And what we're trying to hold on to, they're slowly pulling it away in one direction or another. Prime example. If you stuff a bunch of people from another place and there's not enough jobs, but you keep stuffing them, and the jobs are going away and you keep stuffing, what happens to a bucket that has been stuffed 5 times over and there's only 4 jobs? Now, you got a couple more stuffing of people going in there because we promise you're going to get a bigger check. We promise it's going to get better for you. Wonderful. The promises are made. The deals are cut. The back door's open. The front door's closed. Everybody's got a deal. And guess who pays for it? Us. Not the Republicans, not the Democrats, because they've made a lifetime career of getting in bed with all the right people that destroy nothing but our ozone layer, our planet, and outside of all of that, really people destroying the ozone layer, that's why we have plants. Okay, the earth has been here a long time. But if we keep digging at the core where there's molten lava, eventually you take everything out of the hole, everything collapses. Hence, has anybody noticed how many places lately where the ground just swallows it up? 1 minute it's there, the next minute the road's gone. Then they say infrastructure. We're going to give you money for infrastructure. But hey, you got to take these people with the deal. So now you take them and you're waiting for the deal and you're waiting for this money. Uh-oh. Oh, guess what? I'm so sorry. They have no birth certificates. They got driver's license. We don't know anything really about them, but they're going to be sitting on welfare and Section 8 housing. The list that we're supposed to get, we never got. We didn't even get a notice or a blip. We didn't even get an apology. What we got was more business and more stealing. Let's look at Wells Fargo. How much money did they all make? Really, folks, think about that. interest, principal, and mortgage, sold your name, sold your social security number, because what? There's a Wells Fargo in freaking China, baby, and somebody is sending somebody's shit, because guess what? Fraud on the rise, and they don't know why. Why? I'll tell you why, because we allow foreign bodies to open up companies here that should not be here, by the way. Not to mention, hey, look, we're going to send a car that's disassembled and say it's built in America. Yeah, Americans are building it. Governments are taking more money in taxes. They're cutting the health care. Oops, sorry. They canceled the health care. You got to find your own. Good luck. Hope you don't have a pre-existing condition, because that just might bring it up. But hey, we're not done there. So now we take jobs and we give them to people we don't even know who's doing it. And they say they've done a background check, and then we turn around and we go, oh, you did. Okay. And why does my child know more about this religion than my religion? Don't know. There are more people being arrested in pedophiles. And like I said, does anybody know what abuse is? Abuse is mentally being inundated into our brains. We wear blinders now. We choose what to hear. They give us keywords our brain picks up. And every time we turn on a TV, it's a black man, a black man, a black man, a black man. Has anybody noticed how freaking slighted this is a little bit? Or, this is my favorite, my charity is, and you're supposed to be what? Giving me news, but you're telling me about your charity, but you're not telling me the news about how many people just died in Chicago? Why are they dying? Why is it like every 5 minutes somebody's dying in Chicago? Why? What is the mayor doing? Why did nobody find out about the water in Michigan until when? And how many been affected now? And how many are we going to be paying for because now they're going to get sick? That gene pool just got polluted even more. So now the insurance company can turn around and say, oh, we're sorry, we didn't have that in your care. We didn't have that in the plan. So sorry. Figure it out. We hope you can. And then what? You're stuck with the medical bills, and the medical bills rising and rising and rising and rising and rising. Now, abuse. We all know what physical abuse is. We've been there. When somebody walks up to you and hits you and then tells you they're sorry, I love you, I won't do it again. I was angry, I was mad, I was hurt, I had a bad day at work. When somebody hits you and then to tell you an excuse behind it and then make it look like they are sorry, they're not. They have had practice at this abuse. Women are complaining all across the world about the abuses and the atrocities and the sexual assaults and the this and then that. Okay, ladies, here's my thinking. Why don't we all get together and do something about it? Instead of being busy fighting each other, scraping claw. Listen, women, men have been doing this for ages to us, and you know what that is? Setting us up to do the fight. Do you notice when a man is dating two women, they go at it. The wives go at it. The girlfriend goes after the girlfriend, and the boyfriend stands there, and he's got like, yeah, look at the two dumb bitches. They're fighting over me. Really? Ladies, wake up. If you let them abuse you mentally, emotionally, and physically in any way, fight back. Do something. Do not sit there and let it continue. Do not sit there and let them continue to do this. If you can't find a way out, dial 911. If you still can't find a way out, I got an idea. And it's called Get a Bunch of Girlfriends Together. Eventually the son of a bitch has to sleep. And it's a sheet party. Trust me, a sheet party is good. And there won't be no marks. You learn it in the military. You've heard about it in jails. A sheet party. You tighten the sheet underneath, and whatever happens, happens after that. I'm not quite sure. I've heard rumors. I've heard about it. I wouldn't know anything about it. But women, if you really want out, do not listen to the beautiful little sweet nothings in your ear. If a man is willing to disrespect his mother and his daughter and his son and his mother and father, walk away. Don't stay there. And if you're getting your hair cut because you don't want a man to grab onto it and hold on to it because it's easier to grab onto and hold on to, well, then cut it. But don't cut it because you're afraid of having long hair. Cut it because you're doing it for the right reasons. If you're cutting it because somebody is using it to their advantage, self-defense classes, ladies, it's time we all stood up together. It's time we all realized that we all bleed the same. And I hate to tell you this, ladies, but we are the archetypes. We are the ones who tell the stories. We are the gift givers. But when we let a man overpower us and we keep doing it and we know a woman is in need of help and we turn our back because we're worried about our sweet little asses, or we're worried about what woman is going to snap up on our man. If a woman's going to come up on your man and he turns his head, something you need to talk about. People grow apart. Marriages fall apart. Get married for a child, not a child, for all the wrong reasons, for all the right reasons. Whatever. Things happen. Go to counseling, try and fix it. But if you can't see your way out of that, then you need to take yourself out of that. Which means you give up the cell phone. You don't let nobody know you're going. You pack a bag. You go. If you don't have time for a bag, you go with what you got, and that's that. Go to a shelter. Go to a church. Go to somewhere. Go to a friend's. Better yet, go to another part of town where nobody knows you. That way, you can blend in for enough time to get some money put together and get out. And get out with something in your pocket. But understand, if you are sitting there and taking it, you are the key and you are the keeper of the chains. And you are adding every link on for every time that it happens. We can band together. We can fight together. And the thing is the sooner we do this, ladies, and the sooner we do this, men, and the sooner we grab our children and understand that there is evil out there, and that there are people who want to instill their evil ways onto us. And sometimes those evil ways end up having to have a body in a shallow grave somewhere. And nobody knowing who it is, where they came from, what they could have been, should have been, and aren't. Because somebody imposed their will of violence, their will on them. So, ladies, call the cops. If that don't work, then run. If that don't work, find somewhere to go, somewhere to get to. Raise your voice, cry it out, do what you have to do. Because, ladies, you know what? Like I said, we are the archetypes. We are the story givers. We are the gifts that give the gift of life. And you know what? If somebody is going to take the gift from us, then I guess we'll just have to show them how it's done. So with a little bit of that, a little bit of this, ladies, whoever you are, may God be with you. Angels watch over ya. Go smoke one, roll one, drink one, enjoy your life, have some fun. And please dial 911.